Daddy, we trust in you.
Everyone is born with a purpose, but only few live and fulfill their purpose. Just as many have walked the face of the earth, only few have left their footprints in the sand of times. Ezinne Lucy Onodugu was one of those. Ezinne Lucy Catherine Onodugu, nee Ogboku, born in the year 1939 into the prestigious Ogboku family to Mr. Nekwe Nwozeku Hilungene from Umoriwome, Umokboku kindred of Alago village in Omavlabo. And her mother, Oshiano Nwangwiwe, Enudegu Nwagigwe, Ozo Dinamba Naharinyo Kawaranjo, Mweza Bajio, Ozo Bodogui. Adukulu, as fondly called, started her life as a brilliant and darling girl among her siblings, relations, teachers, classmates, and the general public in Abo. She attended both primary and TC3 Teachers Training College, now St. Teresa's Secondary School in Abo. After her graduation, among the places she worked include College of Immaculate Conception, CIC Enugu, where she taught for several years and was popular among both students and staff of the college. During this time, she had so many suitors, but in 1963 settled for the handsome and gentle late Prince Donatus Paul Onodugo, son of the first traditional ruler in Abo, Warrant Chief Ngwagu Onodugo, Ozon Nabuenyi.
Mama mwe bendu mokboku muna ya no eto mama mwe bendu mokboku nyanwa bo mokboku abia ho opedim ben nje bendu benje zecho unju evuterio kuma ko ya ka me kuchete abu no ye merbu the girl o mara akwụkwọ teacher training we said no ya n'Enugu n'ụlọ okpete ka o jee kishie ba o wee chọọ ka ebe ọ ga-anọ n'Enugu maka ha bụ ka ụmụntị azụrụ n'ezi ka emezi anyị niile n'ezi o wee bịakwutezi mụ na di m jụọ papa ga-ebisho ya biko newe o nwere ka ebe a ga-enye ya ga-anọrụ wee na-eje akishi n'ụlọ okpete di wee na-eche m question ya bia omure ebo ga nkere ayu nkere mu geshere we so yifuta kwa ndewa akwage ehwa ya rio ngongo ga no ri nena kwa ko mo na ibu aflenu wa o meche no adi aflenu eswente bureba ndo zo twente kore bureba so Lucy mba mo na anya ukiri ezigbo omume bụrụ mmadụ hụrụ mmadụ n'anya na ka o mere apụ ụmụ etu aka o si apa ha niile ọ na-akụziri ha ịmana ọ bụ onye nkụzi ọ na-akụziri ụmụ aka ka esi express akwụkwọ na-ede ọfụma ha niile ọkwa na miss ọ na-emenwuru ha mụ na ya na-ebe ọ dọrọ mma anyị na-anọ omume dịrị m mma o medere mama nsogbu na nwoke ka ọ na-achọ shi nwaanyị ọjị ka o neteghị anya n'Lucy ahụ mgbe ekewe nwere m nwoke Donatus Onodugu nwere igwe nwere CMD mgbe esho biko nọ ebe na ya na-ekibu feti nsho feti ọzọ nsho na-enwe nwanụ be m na-eje akụzi n'ụlọ okpete n'omume enye ehike mma Osu onye na-agashi n'omume kam insha n'omume kam aga ma like adabata abai dana aka kwe mgbe kpọọ ụmụnne m Mrs. Madike ya bụ Virginia Onodugu na Teresa Onodugu Virginia so Teresa wee si na ume nwa na ihe m na like m ka ọ bụ na anabata aba anyị nne anyị adịghị mana ọ ga na-anabata anyị na anyị bịakwa be anyị ekekwara ekwu okwu dada wechunetere anyị ha na-ebo karịwazi Chukwu tanksa ekwu okwu dị nwe ọ daba anabata be anyị eje no Port Harcourt bụ ya na ndị onye nọrọ be akwụkwọ ejere m abamakwụkwọ anyị ka m jere abamakwụkwọ anyị na-anata ma ime ọdagwụ a na-edowe maka mgbe na ọma nnata asị ma ime ọdagwụ esi m jem maka na ihe nzu egbu nsọ na na-emeje ka nọ ndị na-ehe adịghị ma ime ọdachi na ụdọwago ya mma si m jem na mụ na feti dana gịdị dana nwunye gị unu hụrụ onwe unu n'anya njem na-anatazi ọ bụrụ na mama nwụhụ iji chewo
Asani Owendio. Hey, Isetuka. Oh, Setuka. Easy ka. Hey. Ah, come in now, your kwego. Oh, what Hey!
After the marriage ceremony, which took place in Port Harcourt on 18th May 1963, Ezinne Lucy Onodugu got employed afresh as a teacher in Creek Road School, Borokiri in 1965. She left the employment in 1967 due to the outbreak of the Nigerian Biafra Civil War. However, something remarkable happened, which earned her the title of Nnochilozwo. And what could this be?
Imanu during the war, onye ọbụla agbawakwa ọsọ ijebe ebe nwuneghi ebe dị a little bit far removed from the war front. So mgbe Enugu dakwara, a lot of women anyị gbakwutere mama m na papa m na Ụmụahịa ebe ha bụ mgbe ahụ. So be anyị bụrụzọ bụrụzọ be ndị be anyị niile ndị ụmụnne anyị ndị enyi ha chisibe anyị na-enwetazi ụlọ na-aga duru mama m ụdị ha akọ ọ na-alaiki ọ na-eme nwunye ọ maara ehu nwunye ọ na-ehu nwunye ọkwụkwa nwunye enye ihụkwa ọ na-aṅụrị then mama m na-enye mmadụ ihe ọ bụ generous ọ bụrụ ọkwa nke generous ezigbote generous ụmụ ọnya na CIC ọbọkwụ biological ụmụ ọnya na ụmụ ọnya ọ na-akụzi because ịma na nwatakịrị ịhafụ be nna anya jee school for the first time na-adị challenging. So ụmụaka ahụ ọ na-achị ha nwee ndidi na ọ ga-adị mma na ọ ga-adị mma na o mechaghị dị mma. So a lot of them kuo m kịta na-achị m sorry sorry
bụ nne mụrụ m mgbe nne dị ụkọ maka na oge na ọmụnya ọ dị ka chi ejiri na ndụ m enweghị jebe adị mma na wa adị mma mana ya bụ ezigbo nwaanyị Chukwu ji arụ ọrụ bata na ndụ m wee bụrụ nne wee nye m wee na-apịcha m na-edozi m ka m wee nwee ike wee bụrụ mmadụ. Wee kene Chukwu ihe na ọmụ ya niile mbọ niile ọ bara n'isi m anaghị n'iyi. Ya bụ na kịta anyị na-eme emume eyimozu onye ana m akwa akịne m maka na nne m nwere nwe m were ịkwa nne m mere kwesị ịkwa mana kịta nne m nke m na-ahụ anya nke hwichere m anya mi zintere m wee bụrụ mmadụ bụ ihe ọmachi Chineke isi n'etiti anyị kpọrọ ya bụ nji wee na-akwara ahịrị ugwu dịka nne m ndị diocese anyị niile ka abịa bishọp anyị ka abịa eyio dịka o mebụrụ omenala ndị ụkọchukwu na bishọp bịa na-eyi mama fada bishọp bịa ka abịa eyiri m maka nne m bụ ọ bụ
impacted so much in my life, so much so that I dedicate an ode to her, whomever I am today. I met her when I was 10 years old during the Nigerian Civil War, and ever since then, she has continued to play the role of a mother to me. In 1969, when the war was at its peak, she so much impacted the responsibility of a family man in me that the shoulder of feeding the family, the burden of feeding the family fell squarely on my shoulders. And after the Civil War, when I was in secondary school, for which you played a major role and supported.
Rather not give others what she have, what she has. Others even, she prefers to be, to deprive herself. So her generosity is something I intend to keep. Her positive, she always has a positive outlook. Some of her great maxims, charity to all, malice to none. These are quotations from, masters, but she likes them. And she usually is part of the principle she used in training us. I wouldn't like to keep malice. Since then, nothing. It's not even in my nature. Even in my office, even people that would want to quarrel with you, I don't allow it because we are not trained that way.
Obugo onye na-aba mmadụ kacha ọ hụrụ mmadụ n'anya kwụsịkwa enyi ike akụkọta mmadụ n'ụzọ abụ n'ụzọ ahụ m onye okwu dakọrọ ya n'anya ụbọchị m mara.
Well, yes, as you know, my mom really touched a lot. In fact, my mom had this kind of thing about her. Anybody that she gets interested in, the person becomes a successful person. I don't know how it happens, but that is what happens. She has this Midas touch, about her. Once she picks interest in somebody, that's it. You see the person doing well. So my mom, she was a teacher. She taught me from primary school to secondary school. And then she's taught a lot of people, and even at home, she keeps teaching. Even until she died, she continued to teach. My mom is a disciplinarian. There are certain things you don't do near her. Do you understand? Like, till today, it affects me. When I'm with somebody that is older than me, I cannot sing or hum. Because with my mother, you cannot do that. My mom will not allow you to sing or hum when you're with somebody that is older than you. She is a very strict disciplinarian. At the same time, very loving. My mom is the kind of person that will, on her birthday, buy a card for you to post to her so that you can learn how to give. Because she's a very generous person. My mom is the kind of person that, there was a day, my mom saw somebody that was working for her neighbor. Somebody that was in the farm, working for her neighbor. And after a long time, she felt that this person hasn't eaten since. And she asked the people that are living with her to go and make food so that she can go and give that person that is working for another person. That's the kind of person my mom is. Anything that she does not give you is what she doesn't have.
Ezinne, as a mother who loves imparting knowledge on others, after surviving the war, once again got employed at St. John's Primary School, Abani, later renamed Station Primary School, Abani. After giving birth to 5 children in 1972, enrolled in the famous Holy Rosie College, HROC, then called One Teachers Training College, Enugu, where she obtained her Teacher's Grade 2 certificate in 1974. She equally taught for a few years in Ogu before joining her husband, who was a clerk at Ogu High School, Nenwe. She further gained admission into Avani Kogo College of Education, Owerri, where she studied music. Adukulu Ezinne loves music and history.
And she really liked music, so whenever I come, we used to dance together. And she told me stories about, like a lot of stories. I'll miss all her Oyebuchi stories about Umobilibo, like her personalized versions of different stories, and you know, the woman that followed her to Umulungwe, just different. I remember her every day because those stories are really, really funny, but really like heartfelt, yeah.
Okushi history for a long time. Ogu music, on I like egwu. Nyangwa bu patroness in the St. Teresa's choir. You know, like here on hand egwu on kese gere. And onye I want interest in music. So I like my mom ebonokwa. I like kind support good causes, you know, budding musical talents. I like I support budding musical talents. One personally I like able a legacy, you know, for her. You know, there was those things all like Charlie. All those things all name. I like name. I like him. I like him. Na kishi. So I'm going to use opportunity. Na kishi. You know. I like music. I like him. I like music too.
Oh, no, ti he mere. Oh, for my other tea here, Melbashamara. Oh, my bridge at the Quaker, or Kowara, Kowadarian, a historian. Oh, but why am we man? Oh, but why Coron the Madanaya? Oh, we're going to Pocha.
She was very deliberate about sharing things she loved with us. You know, she loved sharing any prayers she was doing. So whenever we were with her, we would always pray the Divine Mercy, you know, I don't know whether it was 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock prayers.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, right? She was always pumped with those, and she would share those with us. She would also share the music she liked. You know, there was a lot of Princess Njideka in the house. So she would always play those tapes for us, you know, back to front whenever we were at her place. You know, and the occasional Nollywood movie too that she liked. So she, you know, I like that whenever we were with her, she was very enthusiastic about, you know, sharing what she loved, you know, making sure that we were well fed as grandmas are tend to do. You know, so it was always nice being with her because she was always showing a lot of love, and she was always trying to hear about, you know, our exploits too at school, you know, trying to give us encouragement to, you know, to do well in school, to, you know, work hard at our dreams.
Oh, but you see, I see about history. Oh, but you could make history in school. Man, oh, go up and be a quarter. On our corner, copy don't board in a macateri. Our car could call Conde Rokita. Uvuronya bo ok. On HT Mary Bonya.
She would always tell us these nice stories, these very interesting stories. The one story I remember was she was always talking about, for some reason, the First World War, the one with Hitler. Was it the Second World War? But yeah, so she was always talking about history. She was always telling us about historical events. But I also remember her hospitality, how she would, every time we would come to her house, she would always bring out the red carpet for us, you know. She would give us, she would serve her famous abacha and opa for us. But even, I also noticed that she also directed this hospitality to others as well, you know. She was fond of giving people money, even though they used to want her to stop giving money, but she used to give people money. So she'll be missed a lot, and I'm just happy that she lived very long and she left behind an incredible legacy.
Nigwe Ononobieze was so many things to different people. To some, a teacher, some, mother in a lifetime, but to her children and family members, she is.
Mama m bụ disciplinarian maka onye nkuzi. Ndụ anyị niile bụ nkuzi. Every opportunity nyekwere ọkụziwere onye ọbụla akụziwe kwuwe ihe. Ndị ọdịnwokwe imekwe njom ọ ga-apịakwa gị ụtarị. Ọ ga-abakwara gị. Ọ ga-asịkwa gị na ya manye gị ihe ori. Maka na ọ bụ a very strong disciplinarian. And that's why she succeeded as a teacher and as a parent, as a mother for all, as a matriarch of the Onodugo family.
Mommy was a very strong-willed person, very strong-willed, and she played a great role in forming many of us. In fact, I remember many of the jobs I got, she got it through her will and determination. The first jobs I got after youth service, the second one, I owe a lot to her. We all owe a lot to her. I hope and pray that God will grant her eternal rest in His bosom.
Her kindness is a wonderful legacy. Her goodness is a wonderful legacy for us to emulate. Because the Word of God says that we should always be good to people. And her good-natured attitude, we always miss and emulate her, because she left to us a good legacy that we cannot quantify.
She taught me even in primary school. She's been my teacher. I just grew up, opened my eyes and noticed that my mom was my teacher and my mom too. So, somehow she trained us that, maybe it made me, all the time you need to be conscious. And she was real a teacher, to the core. And you need to be prim and proper with her and all that. Come on, you don't know you're a woman. And she also trained us girls. The way that a woman is seen, not heard. All that. Somehow it's cowed us. Will I say it cowed us a bit? But it's not bad, because maybe I wouldn't have been this calm without her. Because she would tell, don't you know you're a woman? You're too argumentative. Keep quiet. All that, She was really something else.
We used to call her Miss Lucy when we were younger. And for me, she was like a benchmark of what an educated young lady should look like. Accidentally, I became interested in the daughter. Some of my elders, my mother, my uncle, they were like, are you going to marry your cousin? Because the mother of Lucy Onodugo, that is Ezinne Lucy Onodugu, is from Umuozo family, Umuozo village. And my mother is also from Umuozo. And in our own native language, Munaya Nkana, Ikunaya bu Umuozo Benjes, and Ikunam Umuozo Benjes. So, but the good news is that it was discovered that he has passed the 4th generation where we can marry each other. But it was debated, and after a background check, I was able to get married to her, to my wife.
My mom really touched a lot. In fact, my mom had this kind of thing about her. Anybody that she gets interested in, the person becomes a successful person. I don't know how it happens, but that is what happens. She has this Midas touch, about her. Once she picks interest in somebody, That's it. You see the person doing well. So my mom, you know, she was a teacher. She taught me from primary school to secondary school, and then she's taught a lot of people, and even at home, she keeps teaching. Even until she died, she continued to teach.
Very nice person, and nice in a way, not really nice, but she's a very generous person. Like, she just really cares about people. I mean, maybe I didn't really notice it when I was growing up because it was a bit tough, let me not lie. But as she was growing up, like when she stayed in our house, it was a very nice experience, and I got to really see that she cared a lot about the people around here.
Since she impacted so much on you, what is that one legacy you know that you may wish to keep in remembrance of her?
There are so many things to remember about her. One, I know that she's a woman with very strong emotional intelligence. That is an aspect that brought out the best version of me. Being ability to relate with people, being able to feel what other people are feeling, that is empathy. And showing love in the face of diversity. And being able to accommodate people. She's somebody that is very, very warm, very, very accommodative, and above all, she imbibed in me the spirit of love and the knowledge of the efficacy of prayers.
She was a giver. Like, that's one thing I know and will remember her for. She gave to a lot of people, to both people she knew and people she didn't know, strangers. She derived joy in giving and helping people. She was also a disciplinarian. She would not hesitate to correct. She would not hesitate to correct. She doesn't like staying around in an environment where things are not going on in an orderly manner. So she would always correct, you know, both her children and her people that are not her children, both people that are related to her and people that are not related to her.
na ada etufu nni na nne nwaanyị ekwesịghị itufu nni ka ọ zụwara m ka m maara na mbọchị Krismas ihe anyị riri ọkụ 24 ka anyị ga-ada ọkụ rie n'ụtụtụ ọzọ efiche ka ọ ga-ekwe ka anyị rie nke ofu anyị ada etufu nni be anyị na-ama na-eji ihe n'agbanyeghị na Chukwu mere ebere na ihe dị mana ọ kụziere anyị na anyị na-ama na-eji ihe a na-eji nwayọọ nwaanyị na-ama na-eji ihe ama na-eji nwaanyị ada abata ọbata beti usu ihe niile eme ihe niile kwamkwam na-eji nwayọọ ọ kụziere m na a na-ebi m udo fat mụ na ya shiri dị n'ofe ite for 29 years ka mụ na ya shiri ọmụnwa sịrị ya mama biko ka anyị kewetụ na ụmụaka esogo mbe
Ezinne onye Jerebechi onye Lucy Onodugu ni okpokwu bụ nwaanyị o bu sarịsarị ọ bụ nwa okpokwu ọ bụ nwa ekeghere ngene okpokwu oliliwe ome nwaanyị dị o bu sarịsarị na-enyere mmadụ niile aka bịakwara n'okpuru onye o ji wee nwee ike zụkweta ebe mmadụ otu akwa ka Chineke si nyere aka ọ zụkweta ihe ụmụ onye nyere aka ụmụ onye zụwa ahụ ụmụ onye omume ha na-egosi na nne na nna ha zụrụ ha ọfụma so na ihe nwaanyị ahụ hafụrụ n'ụwa were jebe ka ga-adị ọkpụtọrọkpụ ọ bụrụ m ihe oke aṅụrị maka na nwaanyị ahụ bụ nwunne m, in the sense that na nne m ochie bụ nwa ekeghere nge n'okpokwu, ana ya bụ nwaanyị abụghị nwa ekeghere nge n'okpokwu, so na nwaanyị enwere ike ịnụ nwa m, so ọ bụ m ihe oke ome na mụ na anya here.
But most importantly, what would be missed about Ezinne Ojeo Senior Onodugo?
By staying with us, I think beginning from November, early November or late October last year. In fact, she has been here for 1 year. The past 1 year of her life, she's been with us. So we regard it as an honor. We didn't know she would leave so soon. The shock is there. But when we remember that, we happy we insisted, because she refused. She said, but my husband joined us to plead, say, Mommy, that at this stage, you need to come and stay with your children. And we are not outsiders. We are part of you. That you should come and stay. And she accepted. So she's been with us all this while. So, but now that she's gone, the shock is there. If you enter her room, every night I still go there to say, Mommy, how now? Good night. From time to time, I lie down on her bed just to remember. It's not easy, but it's consoling. Particularly when I remember that she prepared for this day. She was prepared. You know, a few days, from time to time, she would tell you it's not how long, but how well. You know, she was getting ready, and I think her day was a bit natural. It happened naturally. And we just saw her getting weaker and weaker.
More comfortable. Lotembo and Maroro Nonich, and Marno Bank Nonich, and when Lata in Ugubiano being on your weekend, Yanma Papa weekend. Or now you whom Macone Madani on his own name, Madani, who she or gonna be gonna Mary Nemayani, who she high. Or gonna name, sure no motum name, so no time neighbor, and maybe. Kunana Mbosh Monday, or Jan Bank on ya, ego 4 brand new tires, Nyem. Nje camp, go 4 brand new tires, where now on it. Where Blue Ojibo Mad, Mamam the futuristic. On a bid on H, we on our plan into the future. Some of us made about Kenyawa Melech, and on the chair, very dynamic. Look at Papa Mugashi, Papa, a very simple-minded person, jovial and easygoing. He should call she or do what necessary. My mom, I knew she not the necessary. My mom, I born and she careful and then me check when young get on take care of it. On Jeve, Obuquano need your bico, Jayo bico. Obuquano here, I get better or better. Okujola, I came better. Okujolani, and you like all and you like all the Catholic Church, like all the sacraments, and on the Nyeka, I nejana nata.
Mommy, all mixed feelings. At first, all the I told my young by the time my name is and we was touch you no matter so like go and akasimod I want me I'll try and testimonies of
it looks like it's not yet real, but it hasn't been the same really, since she died. Typically when I come back from, I'm coming back from UNTH, where she's staying with my sister, it's on the way. So many times I just drive in to say hello. When I pass those places, I just feel bad that she's not there again. So it's not the same. I know I do a lot of travels. And each time I travel, I have to tell my mom that I'm traveling. I feel like somebody is, praying for me and all that. It reassures me Since she's not there, it's not the same. But what has replaced is that I now feel that she's traveling with me anywhere. You know, I feel that she's a saint. She's St. Lucy, as far as I'm concerned. So she travels with me, and she goes through all the hurdles I go through, you know, with me. So since she died, I kind of I feel that she's now with me, doing all the things with me, and I feel that things work out better really now that she's there in heaven interceding for me.
I miss so many things about her. Her good advice, her giving. My mother is a giver. She will always advise you very, very, very well. You know, I will miss her advices. I will miss her funny attitudes. She used to, you know, say funny things that will make you to laugh. I will surely miss her. She's a mother indeed. One in a million. In short, in my next world, I will like her. She must be my mother.
Grandma, it's still very hard to speak about you in the third person or in the second person. And so I'm going to speak to you instead of about you. I am so glad that we got to spend the last 1 year with you in our house. It's a privilege and a blessing. I wasn't always at home, but whenever I was, no day would pass without, you know, you telling me a certain story from the very many happenings in your life. And I hold these stories very dear to my heart because of so many reasons. But the first is that these stories really taught me a lot about life. The characters taught me, the settings taught me, like how you told the story is also another reason why I hold the stories dear to my heart. You told it in such an energetic, amicable, evergreen way, always interjecting your stories with Donna Onodugo or I am Mire Jumaya. And sometimes you wouldn't even know who exactly you're telling this story to. It may be Wali, it may be Duce, some of my sisters, but it didn't matter. So it teaches me a lot about like stories, because sometimes I'll be talking to my sister and it will be like one single phrase that I would remember from your story, and it would make us laugh so much. And so thank you so much for telling us those stories. Till we meet again, I would remember you singing.
The octogenarian, over the course of her life, has touched lives in so many ways, including caring for so many children as her own. Among them include Reverend Father Stan Onodugo, Rector of Sacred Heart Seminary School in Sude, and Chief Raf Ugu Ake Uchonwa of Abo.
No more than Pietelu Benya. On Adamaka Mabu Obia, Macanibenya Bobem. On enwe no Hukwam. Can a drummer Ruech? What was in Pietelu Benya? Or I didn't want him Katia non. Now by a memory, Ludreho, or can at choice and occasion naked on what Yanon, Kali Quen. In a garden, because of my money, who was Kali Quen one tint.
Feel that you are a human being. Somebody that will make you feel hard. Somebody that will make you feel important, no matter how small you are. She has a way of bringing out the best in you.
A big loss to us, and we all are going to miss her dearly. But at the same time, I would like to say thank you to her in a special way, and special thanks to God who made her, because Mommy touched a lot of people. She touched her students. She touched anyone that came in contact with her. She was a blessing to all of us. Maybe I speak first for myself. She played an important part and role in my life. She was a mother and a teacher. She assisted me in different ways. And if I should remember one of her sayings, it pays to be good.
Mami Igwe is not just a humanitarian only on the outside, but a firm believer that charity should begin at home. This is evident in the testament of her extended family, including daughters-in-law, grandchildren, among others.
A part of my life. I think she was a part of my life from the very first day that she met me. In fact, she quickened, the way she saw me, she decided that the wedding was going to be as soon as possible, and she even made steps even before my husband did to meet my parents and all that. So she was a part and parcel of, we were just like one continuous family. And she was very much part of our lives. She was very much, I looked up to her a lot. I admired her a lot. I had a lot of regard for her. And I think it was reciprocated. She loved me. She loved me with all her heart. And I loved her right back. So it was just like one seamless family. And it's still difficult for us to believe that we'll continue without her, but I won't say we are surprised. She kind of started getting us ready. I think I'm one of the luckiest people on earth to have had her as a mother-in-law.
Here you see an embodiment of enlightenment. Somebody who is interested in tradition and knowledge and enlightenment generally. She's very generous and friendly. And in our place, they say if you want to know more about your wife, you look at what the mother is like. So that also attracted me to her and to my wife.
Maka ọdachi ebe enwere mkpọka ọdachi ebe enwere esemokwu ọbụla ọkwa onyinye onye ọbụla o jikwa na onyinye ya mmadụ. So a na-eme arịakewe ka ọrịa na ọ nọnwe ebe a kịta maka na ụmụ onye ọ zụrụ ọfụma na-eme ihe niile o kwesịrị imeghe echichi.
Mere anyị ịbịa yikwe ịnịgha mmanụ n'ịghadụ ọ na-emenwuru anyị niile ekpoko ya bụ ime ebe mmadụ na-ekpokote. So ọkwanụ anyị ọhụ yikwe m ọ na-eke mama anyị agwa mama ya bụ Oceanu Ngwihu nta ikwe nshi bịa maka obodo real estate ka a na-mechiri ihe niile rụcha ọrụ oyibo natazi emeghe transfer to Enugu ha bụrụ na CIC mbịa ikwe n'ọsị mama m Ngwihu abịa mụ na ya na-akarị anyị na-adị na m ọkwa na ọhụ ya taa m n'ụzọ ndị be anyị aja mara ihe m na-eghe adụwa m ma ọ bụ ya na onwe onye achọrọ m bịa mụ na onwe m ori ihe ka m hụ ehe bịara gị nwatakịrị ahụ kidi onye mekwa n'ọnwụ ọ bịa daa ọya ọ ka dịta dịrị maka na ọya ọ dara karịrị evreje South Africa evreje ndị obodo ahụ a na-evu isi ndị mmadụ India evreje India evreje London ụmụntọ ya nwa nnukwu ivu isi nke ehiji ndewe ọ na-abụrụ mọba agadi nara achọje.
She was a pillar of the community, a pillar of the church, a teacher, a musician. She was everything to all sorts of people.
Due to her commitment and dedication to the church and community, Ezinne was honored by the Catholic Church with the following titles: Norma by the CWO of Sacred Heart Parish, Iwani; Nedioramma and Noble Mother Ezinne by CW of St. Teresa's Parish, Omavlabo; Patroness St. Anthony of Padua, Enugu Diocese; Millennium Mommy Neochirozwa Traditional Chieftaincy Title Conferment by the CIC Community; Life Member CWO Enugu Diocese; Millennium Lady by CWO St. Teresa's Parish, among other traditional titles.
Very important.
Oh,
When they make video. Game kai ono ya n'ilo no nka anyị ga-eme n'ime be anyị. We would like to emulate her in a lot of ways.
Foundation for the orphans. You know, make ndị na-enweghị nne na-enweghị nna nwee ohere ije akwụkwọ jee nye ruo ebe ọbụla ụfọdụ ha nwere ike iru maka na ihe nwaanyị a mere na ndụ mba ọbụ na okete nke m na-eme nkịta n'abalị na onwe ka ọha mmanụ nnụnụ nwa akwụrụ ụgwọ kịta abụọkwa aha ọkwaja mana aka m na-enye mgbe m ka ha jite ọhụma wee nwee ike wee nye hwa otu o si wee kwesị ịdị ncheta nke ezi.
One thing really that I continue to remember, which I feel everybody should adopt as a legacy of hers, is her thankful spirit. My mother remains thankful to God. She remained thankful even until she died. Despite all the challenges, her challenges that she had, she remained thankful to God. She had a very strong, thankful spirit. She was grateful for everything that God made her to become. She was grateful for the husband she married, whom she liked so much. She was grateful for the children that she had. She was grateful for the daughters-in-laws and sons-in-laws that came to her. Grateful for the grandchildren. Grateful for the achievements. She remained grateful. Grateful for life itself. And that for me is one thing that I will never forget, and one thing that I will continue to make part of my life. And I advise everybody to do so too. She died a happy woman because of that gratitude.
As an intelligent, unassuming woman leader, Ezinne Mrs. Lucy Onodugu was the vice president of Adabo, second vice president of Ojibogene Women League, also a cheerer and patroness of the Young Stars movement, Umavulabo, among others.
Shonye Shinogabu, Cob. Obewo Yomur, Omar Ebonesata, Ikenge, Umavura, Ibute, Kumbido can the Bamiko, Ibute, Ikenge, Omavura, Umokeneto, Umwa Neb. Hani Nebuchakwa, Igwe. You know, in Namacha one in Oyan Gabu, CMD, Oyan Gabi Igwe, Oyan Gabu Nukumad no Saka. Nwanyanya in Amahuro jail, a very big woman. Munayana no Egede, Ejibuto di, very big woman, Umunisa. Shukushinekam wenye, or Nekam, Ukichukushu wenye. I need a name or for my Lucy. I should among one Libo Vungongo is a Rasha in on the network. Zasha Jaja. I should move to good, even Nakuichi.
A perum better have a beacon. A two no mamma, the papa non drawing. I need a cooker, and I'm not cabin to Felix Onodugo. Macana Beba one or the track. Umoka. Amar Donatus Mahway. So no, it was never Nahashi Butenjo. Ndru man and no name will Corrie. Happy no. So calling about hey, Bido. Doctor who you are Chicotash, and there, and ye should have Igwe on the Abamajeca, just to come my mind. Equal no to Jabi or Cabia. Mamma, to Mamma, she widow when you but yet talk a mission home, Nina, on a boy jail on wire. Or church. Yan do you doing you. Honey, no commercial have because you take when the Kunuji.
Ezinne will forever be remembered as a mother, a philanthropist of note, a humanitarian by excellence, a teacher, a builder, a disciplinarian, a giver, among others. Adieu, Mama. Rest on till we meet to part no more.
Eji m ịhwa ụmụnne m ụmụ Donna ụmụ Lucy Onodugo na ndị Onodugo niile na ndị ụmụ avụla ebo niile wee na-ekene ikwu na ibe na ndị ọyị anyị na ndị ụmụnne anyị ndị nọtachiri aka ka ha mere na-akpọ anyị akacha anyị obu n'ọnwụ mama. O nwere ndị kpọrọ na fon, o nwere ndị chatịrị anyị na WhatsApp, o nwere ndị deli email, o nwere ndị bịakwutere anyị bịa nọnyere anyị fisikali, ma ndị shiri nri ekwa anyị na-ekene ha niile, ma ndị butere mmanya ma ndị butere shiri ihe niile ha butere anyị na-ekene unu na-ayọ ọhụ unu biko unu bịa nọnyere anyị mbọchị 13th 14th 7th 13th 14th 17th mbọchị ọbụla kwa onye ma ga-emenwu ya bịa nọnyere anyị ka anyị ga-akwa mama anyị on the 14th and anyị na-ero biko unu bịakwa na Chukwu ga-anọnyere unu, na Chukwu ga-agọzi unu, na Chukwu ga-enyere aka ka unu bịa ka unu si wee bịa nọnyere anyị na unu ga-anakwa n'udo. Enweghị ihe ka eme anyị maara na enwere insekuriti mana mama anyị bụ onye udo and ihe ọbụla kwa gbasa mama anyị na-aga ọhụma. Anyị na-achị unu ka Chukwu gọzie unu ihe niile unu na-emekwa biko nu daalụ ndị be anyị.
I read music, not very good.
Jackery. Oh, the real thing.
Real thing.
Real thing.
Yes.
conditions. Knowing what is what knowing. Getting it from the right source. And usage. Get it. Knowing what is what knowing. Getting it from the right source. And the usage. This type of we have English. Making who are you? In a way. Anh quên được ya ba mẹ giảm đi. Như vậy này chi nè. Có được không? Hey, bye bye.
Mamanya. There, Joe. Yes, mommy. Yes, ma. Hey, yeah. Yeah.